How's it going, guys? Winter Kills here, and welcome to a brand new locals feature match. Here we are in round 2 for the week, and we've got yours truly on the left playing Speedroids, and a new build at that. A very different build than what I'm used to playing. And as you see, I opened up very unfortunately. And had to pass. I know, right? I opened up pretty well all night, except for the one game I was on camera. It is what it is. And I was actually playing against my good friend Sheen, who has been out of town for a little while, and has just been finally able to make his way back to our locals. So it was good to see him again, and it was also really nice to be able to get to play against him. And his legendary Madolche strategy, bringing the cakes. Yeah, really excited to go over this match with you guys. Specifically, I want to talk about some things that I did at certain points in the game. And looking at the poll results, it looks like Speedroids are in the lead, but that is very early in the poll, so let's see if that changes, and let's see if you guys are correct. So, as you can probably tell, I did brick on mostly hand traps and going second cards, 2 talents, Imperm Ash, and then a copy of Duplicate in the opening hand. And speaking of talents, my opponent actually has a talents for me, which is going to hit the, the Imperm out of my hand and leave me with literally nothing of use. It is what it is. I thought about maining Droll for this particular tournament, and I decided I would play talents instead, and I still really do like talents over Droll. But, more testing is to be done. And by the way, the build that I am playing is a very slightly modified version of a list that I got from Aerosol TCG. And by the way, huge shout outs to Aerosol TCG. We've been in talks about some things regarding the Speedroid deck. You guys will hear more about that in the next episode of One Deck One Month, episode 3, I believe. You'll hear brief details about it, but saving a lot of it for the 4th and final episode. But again, thank you to Aerosol for sharing some of your ideas with me. I really do appreciate it, and I apologize in advance for what you're about to watch. But anyways, getting back into the game here, I felt like I ashed at maybe the right time. Then again, maybe saving Ash for Angeli was going to be a little bit better, but either way, he's just going to go ahead and set 2 and pass turn, activate Small World in main phase 2 here, revealing Angeli, and then Madolche, which I think is going to get him a D-shifter, because the only thing that matches between those two is I think they're spellcasters. I see him add the D-shifter, I scoop, my next draw was Tekatomborg, and there was pretty much no saving that, and in just about under 3 minutes, we're starting game 2. And as we get into game 2, I'll mention a quick shout out to Imperium Duelist, which is having a Black Friday sale. I think it started at midnight Pacific Standard Time. I don't know if it's still ongoing, but if it is, you should definitely get in on it. I don't know if my code will be able to apply to certain things, but definitely check out the sale and don't miss out, because I think they're doing up to 50% off on some things. And if you guys are shopping on TCG Player during the Black Friday sale, or the 50% cash back or bonus buck back sale they're doing on Black Friday and Cyber Monday, please do not forget to use my affiliate link down in the description below, because anytime you guys shop and check out using that link, a small bit of the revenue from your purchase goes right back into the channel. Now, I still don't know too much about Madolche in this current meta, but I do know the deck tends to like to go second, so in game 2, I figured about midway through my siding that I would make him go first instead of making, myself go first. I don't know if I got lucky here and he didn't open up that well, because he just activates ticket and sets 1 and pass. And I open up with the roulette, pitching Duke, and I roll a 6 here, which is pretty crazy. And I ended up summoning out a copy of Marble Machine and a copy of Fukimadoshi Piper, or as it was formerly called, the Party Horn Kid. And I'm going to go ahead and Synchro 6 right into Stardust Charge Warrior to start netting some advantage here very early on in the combo. I think I draw into a Nibiru. I'm going to go ahead and use the Dendaiko Duke in the grave that got there via wheel to go ahead and then summon back the Party Horn, which allowed me to reveal 1. Reveals an emergency teleport off the top to then go ahead and Synchro into Baron, essentially drawing 2 cards in the process to get to it, leaving me still with a fully stacked hand of, I think, 6 cards at this point. Now, the play, after I've been actually working with this build a little bit, and actually, learning how it plays, because I literally, for those that are listening, I literally threw this list together maybe 10 minutes before I left the locals, and I was so used to playing my deck, in a more combo-heavy fashion, a more build-a-board type version of Speedroid. I mean, they're both kind of similar philosophies, but definitely different in their play style. So I literally was just flying by the seat of my pants here. I was like, sure, I'll play this deck list that I've had 0 time playing before, and I just want to see it for myself, and test it out, and see the things that I like about it, see the things that I don't like about it, all that stuff. And again, still learning the build, still getting better with it in this new variant of Speedroids. And here I go for the rubber band shooter. I actually banished an 8 here, which I think was correct. I should have banished a 6 to reveal Terror Top and Hound. I don't know why I went for the plane. Also here, I should have not gone for Auroradon. I should have just normal summoned Marble Machine, summoned Car Turbo, and then have gone into the rubber band plane. I don't think I needed to go for Auroradon here. I don't really think there was a point of going for Auroradon here. Actually, no, what I could have done and what I should have done was used Emergency Teleport to actually summon Nyan from the deck, and then link the Nyan and the Marble Machine into Rubber Band Shooter, and then link into the Auroradon a bit later with whatever extender I get. So that's something I definitely could have done, and I could have also brought back the Nyan to make Shen Shen, which is what I was trying to do, but as you can see, I'm actually just failing here to do that. And I can't summon Ghost Ogre from the deck because I'm locked into wins, so I go Battle Phase. I should have just used Baron here to pop the ticket, and then just Battle Phase, clear everything. Again, I don't know why I didn't, but I just continue into Battle Phase here and swing in with the Tetherwolf and the Baron. I could have boosted the Tetherwolf by 800. I think that might have to only when it happens when it battles a monster, though. But either way, I just passed over to him. Set 2 with a Nibiru in hand, a set E-Telly, and a set Imperm. So what I should have done was actually shotgun the Imperm, or not the Imperm, shotgun the E-Telly, much earlier in the combo, because E-Telly would be very good to pair with, pair against some of his cards. And he does have the Dark Rule, obviously, which does invalidate a good chunk of my field, but I still have 3 interruptions, technically, even though he Dark Ruled the Baron. I have the E-Telly, which can summon a Ghost Ogre. I have the Imperm, and I have the Nibiru in hand. And at this point, I'm just expecting him to play into the Nibiru, because I don't really think Madolche can put up too much against a copy of Nibiru, the Primal Being. So we're just going to go ahead and watch him do Madolche combos here. I believe the additional normal summon of the Messengelato here. And then I think he was asking if I had any sort of battle phase effects, and I told him about the damage step thing that the Tetherwolf has, just in case you want to know if it did anything. Imperm I also strategically placed in the same column as his ticket, but I don't know if it actually comes up here at all. He goes battle phase into the token, and then I think continues in battle phase to run over Tetherwolf, to clear those bodies, and of course I do not take any damage regardless because of the Dark Ruler, which is kind of nice, so at least I know I'm not dying this turn. And I do have follow-up in the grave, right? I unfortunately opened up dice in the hand, which is not what I wanted to do. And he also gets to use like the pop effect of one of his Madolche monsters, which I didn't know happened. So I actually end up just using the Imperm here. And then he crashes his Messengelato into the Auroradon, and that'll shuffle itself back into the deck. And yeah, he gets the ticket, which shouldn't have happened, and the Salon. So yeah, that should not have happened, and that is entirely my fault, unless I didn't activate the Imperm. Oh, no, I couldn't activate the Imperm because it was in damage step. Yeah, no, okay, so this makes more sense. I know some people are going to be like, oh, why did ticket activate? It was in the same column as Imperm. I didn't have an opportunity to Imperm. I should have Impermed prior. But I didn't know one of his monsters had that effect where, you could, like, basically remove a card at the end of damage calc, which you still can't imperm in as far as I'm concerned. So yeah, it is what it is. My opponent then summons an Angeli from the deck, or summons Who Cake off an Angeli, and then makes the Glass Souffle, I believe. But keep in mind here that this Hoot Cake is actually unaffected by monster effects because of the Souffle, and is also immune to battle because Angeli, for some reason, says that whatever monster it summons out from the deck cannot just be destroyed by battle whatsoever. Which I didn't know. I mean, could you blame me for knowing? Yes, I could have picked up the card and read it, but as far as I was concerned at this point, it had just only summoned a monster from deck. I didn't know it had any other clause to it. So he's going to make the chocolate a la mode, and then that's going to go ahead and detach, shuffle one back, and then it's going to trigger its other effect since he has that that specific monster underneath it as material. So we'll be able to get the Messengelado on field, and he'll also be able to get the Chateau and get another body on the board on top of that. So just starting to swarm the field here right now, and I'm holding this Nibiru until I see the first Tiramisu, and yeah, I can't let this go any further. So we're going to go ahead and calculate math here, because this is going to be a rather huge, and I mean huge token. 51 from my monsters alone in terms of attack. I think 25 from Chocolate a la mode. Yeah, so I'm just calculating the attack and defense stats currently. Yeah, like I could have used the imperm early, but again, it just comes down to me not realizing what a lot of the effects do. And that'll happen sometimes when you play against a deck that you have very little experience against or haven't played against in a very long time. There's just small little interactions like that catch you off guard. You're already trying to hit the things you think you should hit, and then some things come out of left field like that, and you just don't expect it. And speaking of things you don't expect, you'll see what I mean by that here in just a moment. So luckily the Nibiru basically stops the turn dead in its tracks. I know he has the Promenade set, which is basically a negate, and he does have to bounce one of his own, I think, back to his hand, or shuffle one back into the grave and into the deck. So I know I have to play through at least a negate, which is not terrible. So he's going to actually go ahead and flip up the Promenade here on the Hound, which is completely okay. I was planning to dump Terror Top and revive it with the recovery. And I still to this day think Hound is a far superior normal summon than Marble Machine will be. Just because, like, not only can Hound get you right into Rubber Band Shooter, but it can also get you into Cork Shooter, which searches you Duplicate, which is an Eruption, or it gets you into Cork Shooter, which searches you Roulette, which is a very potentially high ceiling extender. Yeah, so very nice card. So we end up using the E-Telly here, and I'm glad I kind of held on to it, because now Nyan's actually going to be very useful, and I'm trying to make sure I don't lock myself into strictly level /3, rank 3 or higher monsters. Well, I guess technically now that the Auroradon is out of the extra deck, I don't have to worry about that. Yes, the double Rubber Band Shooter here, which is not something I'm used to actually resolving. So we go ahead and actually use Rubber Band Shooter here, and I'm hoping right now I don't get the the Terror Top to my hand, because recovery becomes lackluster then, because now I can get the normal summon of the Marble Machine and then speed recovery back the Terror Top and get full value there. So additional normal Marble Machine, and right here this is gonna be pretty easy cleanup. Really easy way to crack this board. So I'm thinking all I gotta do is clear the token, and then battle phase, clear the Who Cake, and my opponent's only at 33, because I had a very botched turn the previous turn, and I wasn't able to do full damage. Maybe I could have killed him if I had access to a card turbo, which I think I might have. No, yeah, I definitely did. So that was an extra 800 from the Tether Wolf, another 800 on the the Bear, another 800, so that's an extra 2400 damage. And then if I E-Tellied out for Nyan, that might have been game. I don't know. Somebody can calculate it for me, because I don't know exactly what Nyan's stats are. So yeah, just a whole lot of fumbling the bag here for me. So at this point in my head, I'm assuming I can just go right for game here if I just make Juju and, send the Nib token, which is pretty huge. And then, the rest of my cards can clear up everything else. So we go ahead and use Juju here and send off the token, so that big body is no longer a threat. And I've got the Nibiru, which is obviously a ton of attack. And I also was under the assumption that his Hookake was still protected by Glass Souffle, that was unaffected by monster effects. And I like, this is just like, if I had any other better understanding of what was going on right now, this game is just absolutely over. But this is like, this is just rough. And I also forget to use Nyan effect here, and when it gets banished, I could have shuffled back something to my extra deck. But I used Duke here to bring out Card Turbo. Or no, I just summoned the Card Turbo fan, then Duke for Fuki Madolche Piper to go ahead and reveal Reel 4, Reeling Recovery, Imperm, and another E-Telly. So I just take the Imperm here for just extra backup plan. And at this point, I was like, you know, I could make another 10 if I was playing it, but I'm not, because my Baron's in the graveyard. So I have to go ahead and make an 8, which is going to be Crystal Wing, the Ghost, by the way. Yeah, at this point, I'm like, Nibiru to attack. I'm like, yeah, this is just going to be game right here. I even go for the Card Turbo, which was a little unnecessary, admittedly. So yeah, I'm like, this is game, right? And then he's like, oh, it can't be destroyed by battle still because of Angel. And I'm like, well, I just punted the game there hard because I genuinely didn't know that. Yeah, so I have to set an Imperm and hope the Crystal Wing and the Imperm is going to be enough to stop him. Yeah, it's just, it hurts to watch this back, and I apologize. I just love how the past 2 or 3 times I've been on the channel playing Speedroids, it's always the match where I just get so unlucky where I either brick and then everybody thinks my list is terrible, or I just get hand trapped to death and then it just makes Speedroids look bad. I mean, it is what it is. Like, I'm not too upset. It's a great time to be able to reflect, and you know, see where I went wrong. And as my opponent is trying to resolve Small World here, it's a very confusing card. I can't do the Pank into Godarla because they're both level 7s. I can't actually do Alpha into Godarla either because they both have the same defense. So he eventually just, you know, comes to grips that he has to actually banish a Madolche. Because I think the only thing that matches between all 3 of those are Earth. So yeah, he gets the Godarla, and I'm like, wow, he can Small World for a Kaiju. All right, well, wasn't expecting that. So there goes the Crystal Wing. Normal summons the Magdalene. And then he's going to go ahead and get to search here. I mean, at this point, I'm like, you know what? I'll just go ahead and Imperm here and just pray that it's going to be enough. And lo and behold, it's not enough because he has the additional normal from Salon, which I should have set the Imperm in the same column as the Salon. But, you know, it is what it is. So he goes into Tiramisu, shuffles him back, and I really hope at this point he doesn't get ticket effect because it should be negated by the Imperm, because I believe I did set it in a column. So let's see what happens here. Yeah, so he's going to go ahead and activate Hookake, because he still has Hookake on field. So Hookake can go ahead and get the, I think, Petting Sessor from the deck, and that can get another body. That's level is modulated down by 1. I think it can be on level 4. The second Tiramisu. So yeah, like at this point, it's just, yeah, it's just game because Chateau on field just provides so much extra damage. All of his Madolches are boosted by 500. And yeah, he's going to go into another Chocolate a la mode, and he's got the level 5 underneath it, so he's just able to just keep, you know, spamming the field here, get another Promenade because of the Salon can actually resolve that because he can actually recycle, you know, Madolche cards back into the deck, so we can go ahead and reset it. So tons of damage on board, plus interruption. So yeah, it's just going to be very, very rough here. So he's going to make another Chocolate a la mode, put everything into attack, and that is just going to be game outright regardless. So yeah, I kind of fumbled the bag, admittedly, and I do apologize for that, but it's a learning experience. So what are you going to do? Yeah, thank you guys for watching. If you want to see more of my content, click on one of the videos popping up at the bottom of the screen. And yeah, we'll see you guys in the next video. And last but not least, I want to give a special shout out to our Divine level channel members, and they are Cadillacs84, Pony Stark, Keith Sidgers, and last but not least, Tweeter0226. Thank you guys so much as always for your extremely generous support.